everyone, welcome back to this voice modulation workshop. My name is Savvy. I'm going to teach you today how to feminize, masculinize, or androgynize your voice, or take it into really any direction that you want. Alright, as per usual, I have to make some safety disclaimers for your health and safety regarding your voice. If you do happen to take medication such as spironolactone or other types of medication that can be drying to your voice, you want to be careful and try to work around these kind of issues. Same thing with smoking or alcohol. These things can be really drying to your voice, and a dry voice is not a voice that wants to cooperate when we practice. Okay? Another thing that I should mention is that before you do any extensive or strenuous voice work, well, voice work shouldn't be strenuous, but to avoid having voice work be difficult for you, you should always consider and always warm up your voice doing some vocal function exercises. Some of you that have already been here know that they're called SOVTE, or SOFTE for short. Basically, they are little exercises that allow us to warm up our voices without putting too much strain on it. And so, talking about that kind of exercise, I'm going to demonstrate some of these. So you might want to take something like a Z sound, as in the word zoo, or a V sound, as in the word variable, okay? So you want to take Z, just test the note gently, and then you can try and do gentle scales, such as Z, and just slowly warm up your voice. The purpose of these exercises is kind of like voice yoga. It might sound like a Z sound is kind of like restraining, but actually, because you kind of restrain the airflow of your voice, you actually kind of allow your vocal folds inside of your larynx to kind of vibrate gently and nicely to allow the blood flow to bring hydration, nutrients, and just pretty much get the blood pumping to that area. So that's what you want to be doing, just gentle warm-ups. And so you can be unmuted for this. We're going to try and do some warm-ups together. Okay? Sounds great? All right. So follow after me. I'll first do a scale, and then you try to mimic as closely as you can. All right, let's try this. Very good. All right. Now let's try to do a full slide from your lowest to your highest comfortable pitch. Don't push too far. We just want to go to like a comfortable height. All right? Let's try this. You turn. Very good. And let's try the way back down. All right, very good, nice. Okay, so the purpose of this exercise, warm up your voice, and you did perfectly fine. Thank you. There's other types of exercises that you can do with an O sound. For example, oh, try it out. Very good. All right, awesome. So to explain why these exercises work and what they do for your voice is very simple. They restrain the airflow, and by doing so, you kind of create a counter pressure to otherwise a very unidirectional kind of voice usage, right? The air for your voice is in your lungs, and so when you push that air for your lungs and up to your throat, the vocal folds vibrate, and that's how your voice works. But that means that you only get a pressure from your lungs. And so having the mouth and the lips in an O shape, O, or having the teeth and the tongue in the way, as in Z or J, helps us kind of create a counter pressure to allow our voice to warm up. Pretty simple, right? All right, talking about pretty simple, let's talk about what is voice. we are going to base ourselves on a very simple model, the power source filter model. All you need to know is that you use your lungs to push air all the way up to your larynx. That's where your Adam's apple is located, okay? And so in the larynx, you'll find little vocal folds, and they vibrate, all right, every time you push air and close the vocal folds at the same time. That's how we all speak and all use our voice, whether we sing, voice act, or do whatever, really. Then once we have produced the sound, it will then resonate in this whole space, the filter space, which we call the vocal tract, okay? You might have heard the word resonance a lot in online resources, and this is generally what this is referring to, the available space in which the space will resonate. And you've already guessed it,
The bigger the spaces, the more masculine and dark you sound, and
the more small the spaces, the more feminine you're going to sound, all right? So this is what I want to be using. Airflow, we all know how to breathe, I do hope. Then we do push the air up to the vocal folds. We all know how to do this, especially if everyone here talks, then they know how to do this. And then we move up to filter, and this is where we're going to do most of the magic to
masculinize
or feminize the voice. All right? So, let's see how much time we got. All right. So I think I've done all the explanations. Now, I'll have 4 people moving up on stage today to voice feminization. Well, no, not really. We'll have like 2 people working on voice feminization and 2 other people working on voice masculinization. All right. That said, if you want to go upstage, I'll ask you to raise your hand, or you can always use the little, I think it's the hand emoji. I'll try to find it. There you go, this one. All right. Or you can jump in place so I can see you. But all right, all I want you to do as well is please keep your mic muted. You'll have the opportunity to move up stage. And if not, there'll be some time for questions at the end of this session. All right, so with that all said, I will be asking, let's see, this time I'll ask someone who wants to work on masculinizing their voice. Who is interested? Raise your hand or use the hand emoji. All right, I see someone here, Loudkit. You want to come up stage? There's some stairs just over there if you want to come up stage. Or there, that works too. All right, applause for Loudkit on stage.
Yay.
Woo! All right, welcome Loudkit. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing
Hello.
good. Kind of tired right now, but I'm awake enough for this, so I'm chilling.
Hey, I totally get you, don't worry. All right, so we'll have 10 minutes starting now. All right, so you want to learn on masculinizing your voice. Have you read any resources, and have you been doing some voice work on your end yourself, or not too much?
In terms of official resources, no, but I have been trying to work on like lowering my voice via like singing for the past couple years. But I think my problem at the moment, because I went to your last class, was pitch behavior, I think it was called.
Right,
like,
inflection or pitch behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm generally at the pitch that I'd like to be. I just still come off feminine for some reason. So I think it might be my pitch behavior.
Okay, let's see. So you say your pitch behavior is something you're struggling with. Do you feel like your voice is too melodical, too high-pitched, or kind of like a mix of both?
I think too melodical, because, like I said, I'm around the pitch range that I'd like to be. I think it's just my, like, how I raise and lower my voice as I'm speaking.
Yeah.
That still comes off feminine for some reason.
Okay, so your pitch range, you seem to be rather aware of it. Do you kind of know where you are at, or just the voice you're using right now?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay, sorry.
The lowest I can go is like down here without really straining, but I'm comfortable where I'm at the moment.
Okay, so down. Oh, okay, that is pretty low. Okay, nice. Down, so like that's a C#3. Okay, cool. And in terms of resonance work and vocal tract size, have you been able to make your voice sound a bit more dark, perhaps? Or is that something you also want to work on?
That I could try working on that too. I haven't really, like I said, the only thing
Yeah.
I've been able to work on at the moment is my pitch, and that's
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So we'll be able to hear like a lot of voice changes and do a lot of things here. So let's first talk about your pitch, since this is what you wanted to talk about. So
Mhm.
feminine pitch behaviors generally tend to be more melodical, a little bit more kind of like up and downish, whereas a masculine voice might tend to be going like a lot lower over time and not really going up a lot. And these are, as I wrote here, common socially gendered ranges. They are not the ultimate answer to what is a feminine voice or a masculine voice. As I can show you here,
Like, I can talk up here and still have like a masculine voice, but like that's way above F3. And
similarly here, I can talk around E3 and even lower than that, and it still sounds on the feminine side. So, they're kind of like suggestions for what we tend to hear the most, but as with gender, exceptions exist, and a lot of variety exists around that. So, you might want to perhaps have something a little bit more monotonous, but I don't want to make you so monotonous that like you sound depressed all the time, right? So that's a thing that we want to be aware of. No, like I mean, some people are like there's different ways to get voice. Like people kind of like use buzzwords like, oh, like I feel like I'm nasal, or like I'm buzzy, or like people say I have like a whiny voice, or like I sound very tired, So we want to avoid giving you a voice that kind of masks your mood and kind of who you like really want to present as. So okay, that being said, your lowest pitch was around here. Okay, so you were right there on C#3.
Oh, I'm right.
That
in
is
the
very
center.
much.
Nice.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in the center. Exactly. It's like if you can manage to keep that low pitch all the time, then you will manage to have actually fairly low mask voice. So let me show you. Da. So like this is a C3 with a femme voice, or a femme-ish voice, right? And so what I can then do from here is, as I keep that C#3, I'm going to drop my resonance.
and like this is what I'm gonna sound like. And this is kind of like what you can already sound like if you learn how to use a lower resonance. Then on top of that, that feels like to like this is like a very soft mask voice. So like then we can add some vocal full mass to make it a bit thicker and a little bit more boomy to have like more texture.
Yeah, so we can try and work on these things. First of all, you said your lowest was around C#3, or at least that's what I heard.
Mhm.
So let's try to go down there together. All right, please mimic after me. Oh,
Ooh.
oh, very good. Let's do bigger steps. Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Oh, all right, that's the C#3 we were on. So let's try and keep that sound. Oh, 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 oh.
Ooh. Oh. 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 Oh.
Oh, 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 oh. Okay, we're on slightly sharper up to D3, so we're like kind of here in this area. Oh, 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 right? They're very similar pitches, but be careful not to go too high up. Like your behavior, your current voice behavior is set on going back up to high pitches, right? So we want to be careful with that. So, oh, very good. All right. Can you say that sentence? Or like, let's just say a few words. Can you say, ashes to ashes on that same pitch?
Ashes to ashes.
All right, awesome. Seeing that you are pretty consistent with that pitch, but as you heard it, it sounds more like a ashes, and we can get it to become more ashes to ashes to get a bit more masculine sounds from that. So, how do we do this? Let's talk about resonance real quick. So, resonance, as I said before, refers to the vocal tract size, how big or how small it is. In your case, your vocal tract, sorry, it's pink. It really doesn't need to be pink, but your vocal tract is most likely non-testosterone affected. Or unless you have been taking testosterone, which I'm not aware of, But
Nope.
no, you haven't. So people are not equal to this. Like even AMAB people, or not even AMAB people, but people who are affected by testosterone don't necessarily have a super masculine voice to begin with. Testosterone kind of chooses what area it like changes, muscle mass or body hair or voice. We're not all equal in terms of how exposed we are to this, but for some reason you can achieve a pretty easy C#3. So congrats. That's not given to everyone who hasn't have testosterone, right? Who hasn't have had. Oof, English is hard. So anyways, let's get you to be a bit darker. A simple exercise we'll do is using whispers. Is your microphone open enough that we can hear like whispers? Just click on the
I'll turn
quick
it all the way down just in case.
Okay, is noise
There we go.
suppression turned on?
Let me check. I didn't even know that was a setting until now.
It is a setting, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is off.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, can you say something like, hello?
Hello.
Awesome. As you heard it, it's like a hello. It's like super small, super like femme. So now we take that hello and make it darker. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
As dark as you can go. Give it a try.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Nice. Okay, going very dark. Hello, 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 hello. Now with that hello, you're going to keep that O sound at the end, like this. Hello. And you're going to make sure that it doesn't move up, okay? Give it a try.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice. Hello. And now we're going to try and do what we call bridging, going from that whisper into a full voice. Okay, so you said you were at C#3. Let's try D3, might be easier. Okay, so hello. Try it out.
Hello.
Yeah, nice. Okay, can you say
Hello. Oh, 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 oh.
Hello. Oh, 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 oh.
yeah, okay, I love to hear that. Awesome. And now try to say
Hello. Ashes to ashes.
Hello. Ashes to ashes.
yeah, nice. Okay, this is really good. Okay, compared to like a femme ashes to ashes, like ashes to ashes, ashes to ashes. Quite different, right? Yeah, okay, awesome. So for now, it hasn't really answered your pitch behavior issue, but we have gained a lot of masculinity from making your sound darker. And, oh no. Okay, another good thing we had here, it's the alarm, no! Another good thing that we heard here is that you didn't go extremely hollow, like you didn't do like a,
Hello, hello, hello.
and that's something we want to avoid, right? Not all masculine voices sound super yawny, like,
Yeah, like we don't talk like this, right? When we have like a masculine voice, we like talk like this with like a bit more mass.
and I feel like you kind of found that sweet spot. Maybe you can experiment some more with that and get even greater results with time. So make sure that the whisper it goes as dark as you can go, and then that the bridging doesn't cause you to like bridge back up to a brighter sound. For example, a mistake that is very common is to do this. Oh. Do you hear how the whisper did? Yeah, you want to avoid that
it
and make
curved
sure
up
that
a
it's
little bit.
really exactly okay. If you can hear it in my voice, then you can hear it in yours. And if you struggle to hear it in your own voice, take a software like Audacity or some phone recording software, and then you can just be using that to listen quickly back to your voice when you record it and make feedback on that. All right? Make adjustments on that. Sorry. All right. Really good job. That was amazing. So yeah, I wish you luck with your voice work, and I'll be seeing you perhaps another time on stage. Applause for Lab
Thank
Kit.
you.
You're welcome. Woo, okay. So now we'll have someone who wants to learn how to feminize. Oh, okay, you're too quick. A werewolf, come up stage. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Up, yeah, there's some stairs over here. Applause for a werewolf.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. Hello. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you yourself?
Good, thank you.
Right. Awesome. I'm hearing a lot of voice feminization done here. What's that? What's
Oh,
going
thank
on?
you.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been watching some of these videos and I've been working on feminizing my voice and it's been really helpful. But I just want to
Uh-huh.
see where I'm doing well and see what I can improve on. So
Okay, very good, very good. So what I'm hearing directly is that you're going for a really high pitch. Like, hello, like you're like kind of like talking up here and like it's very feminine,
okay,
like it's a really high pitch, right? But like not all femme voices have to be super high pitched. So if that's
for sure.
something you like and love, go for it. The only issue I hear of your voice is there's a bit of instability, and I think you hear it too, like a little bit shaky at times, right? That's maybe something
Yeah, I
that we
struggle
can
with
work
that.
on.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, awesome. So we might want to work on some stamina and pitch production work. Okay, so
Yeah.
what have you been doing so far with your voice, by the way? Like resonance exercises, pitch exercises? You said you watched some videos online.
Yeah. I watched a few of the video on demand of the Trans
Mm-hmm.
Academy presentations, and they're really helpful in terms of the um,
Nice.
like just trying to get a general sense of what voice feminization is because I'm gender fluid, so I'm working on like getting a consistent female voice, but also like trying to get a consistent masc voice as well. And learning about the brightness and resonance was really helpful with that.
Nice.
So.
Hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any questions regarding like using both voices? Because I can answer them for you if you want. Just so you know, practicing fem voice won't have you lose your mask voice ever. As long as
Okay,
you keep
good.
practicing both, you're gonna be fine. So
Good,
if
thank
that's an
you.
issue that you're thinking of, don't worry. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got a solid voice, but maybe a little bit of not irregularity, what you call it. Lack of stability. So generally the
Okay.
problem here is going to be happening at the level of vocal fold closure. So as I've said
Okay.
before, your voice is based off, or not really based off, but we use the PSF model to understand our voice. Simple. Air comes from the lungs, goes up to the throat, to the neck, to the larynx. There's some folds in there, just like the ones you can see on the board over there. And once those folds closed and open, thanks to the airflow that you push, they vibrate and create a sound. But that's where the issue can stem from. You, for example, have a voice that is too light and you use maybe too much air, then perhaps you might have like a shaky sound like this, right? Because your vocals are just so thin and so soft that blowing too much air can cause them to kind of like be blown out of proportion, right? And so you can get like either shakiness or in other cases you can like have a very breathy voice, right? That's kind of like the two things that can happen. Perhaps you have experienced some of that before.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and so some exercises that we want to do are going to be to help us improve how we manage the airflow and the closure of the vocal folds. Okay? All right, so that being said, for vocal fold closure, I like to use a little exercise, or at least use this closure gradient for reference. There's different types of sounds we can make with our voice. If the vocal folds are completely open, then we just have a whisper. If our vocal folds are a little bit more closed, then we get a breathy sound. If your voice breaks when you just get started, that can be a great way to improve closure of the vocal folds. Okay? Then the same thing that we did at the very start of the session, which is like warm-ups. Oh, whoops, sorry, I'm lagging. Which is like vocal warm-ups. So sounds like zzz. In your case, you're at such a high pitch, it would be more like zzz, zzz. Yeah, like that. Very good. That can help you improve how you manage the airflow in comparison to the closure of the vocal folds. Okay? So these three things are important. Knowing how to use the closure gradient helps you learn how to open or close the vocal folds. Making use of the glottal tags, can help you improve the onset and find more closure overall. Okay. Not only that, but also the softies or the VFEs, the vocal function exercises, the vocal warm-ups, can help you with sound production, do it in a relaxed way, and helps you become more confident with it. Let's say, imagine if you're going to like a high pitch, and perhaps your voice sounds breathy or shaky, right, like this. Then you might want to try something like this. All right. Not only that, but that's just one way to learn how to manage the airflow and the closure, but maybe a more natural way. But something that's a bit more, I guess, not really tricky, but something you don't really expect is, well, it's not just closure. Closure just doesn't work without the airflow, right? You have to use air to create any vocal sounds. And so learning how to manage your airflow also helps greatly with that, okay? So let's say if you say something like, hello, how are you doing? That's using a lot of air. It's
Hello,
almost
how
as if
are
you're
you
blowing
doing?
air. Yeah, that's very good. Not like I did, okay? Mine was like an
Okay.
example of like a very breathy sound, right?
Okay.
Right? Exactly, that's breathy. As opposed to which is balanced. And so what I wanted to show here is that if you use a lot of air, like as opposed to, right? I'm not even sure if you could hear it. That was so quiet, right? Well, then you are learning how to modulate how much air you push, right? So trying to onset your voice with different amounts of air like this, versus like how much quieter sound, like that, right? Can help you figure out how much air you exactly need for a certain sound, and can help you avoid like any voice breaks or any shakiness in the voice. All right?
Okay.
All good? All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the exercises
you
I
so
got
much.
for you. Sorry again that it happened
Thank
on your
you.
session, the little troll thing, but I hope
Oh,
you
it's
still learned a
okay.
lot
Thank
of it.
you. I did.
All
Thank
right,
you.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
If anything's unclear, the VODs will be up, and you can check those out to learn some more. All right, you
For
were
sure, thank
really
you.
aware. You were really aware, Wolf, today. So
Aw, thank you.
applause for Wolf. Thank you for coming off
Good
stage.
job. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, now without any further ado, we'll have someone who wants to work on masculinizing their voices. Who is interested? Use the hand emote or raise your hand if you want to learn how to masculinize your voice. No one really? No. No one wants to learn to masculinize their voice? Perhaps someone who wants to learn how... Ali, you want to learn to masculinize your voice?
Yes.
All right, come upstage.
Wait. Just.
The stairs are over there.
I know. I just need to get up.
Whoops. All right, technical difficulties. It's hard for a snail to walk. Who would have guessed? All right. Welcome upstage. Applause for Ali.
Yay! Can we swap?
All right, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, awesome. All right, we got 10 minutes starting from now. Let's go. So, you want to learn how to masculinize your voice, right? Is that what I heard? Yeah? Perhaps you have a little bit of lag, or you might be muted here. I'm not sure. Oh no. Did they crash? I'm not sure.
Think
Gee,
so.
that's never happened to us.
Hey, it's a day of... It did happen before, actually.
they crashed.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. It's fine. Anyone else wants to... I'll try to dedicate time for questions later. So, okay, who else wants to learn to masculinize their voice? Anyone? Oh. No one? No one wants to learn to masculinize their voice. That's crazy. Where the trans guys at? Where the voice actors at? Okay, maybe voice androgynization. Okay, yeah, Shay. Is it Scarrick? Yeah? Alright, come up stage. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Hey, is
Welcome.
there seriously no other trans guys here than me? Again?
Yeah, again, I know, right? I swear, right?
I don't want to take it away from others.
Get up here.
Take it to you.
That's alright. Love to hear you doing so well, Scarrick. How have you been?
Thank you. I've been alright. T's been doing more over the months. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I can hear
And you
it.
guys are still incredibly terrifying. I got called swagger souls yesterday again, so that's not gone, but I'm making peace with
No,
it.
that's not.
Got called nigga pretty like low voice.
No, that's Kermit. That's different. Never mind.
Low Kermit. Nah, but it's fun.
It's
fun.
close, but not quite. Yeah. Okay. So, what you need help with today?
I have been noticing some things about my voice which I don't necessarily love. I'm not sure what it is, but sometimes when I'm just talking, it sounds too feminine when I hear it back. Like if someone else's mic is like giving the feedback, I just hear them go, "Oh no, there it is again. Oh fuck."
The voices.
The voices.
No. Okay. No. So you feel like the feedback sounds masculine? No way. Okay.
No, feminine.
So it sounds feminine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry.
Yes.
So it's so masculine. I'm like asking what you come up here for, anyway. So, anyways.
All right.
All right, I'll stop you. Okay. All right, love the energy. I guess this is more like a talk about how to like come to peace with your newly found mask voice. Not so newly found anymore, is it? It's been a while since you've been using it, but you know. Well, that being said, there's some things that I know I encountered myself when I first started using my femme voice, right? Typically, I still felt like I was hearing my accent. I still felt like I was hearing the same words, the same gimmicks that my voice had. And it just took me a lot of time to get used to that. For your knowledge, my accent was like closer to this, because I'm French, and so like that's kind of like what it started as. But now full English accent or somewhat-ish like European non-English English accent, But this is what I got, and even with that accent, I still felt like I heard remains of my old voice, like of my
Old masculine voice, right?
and so. Just like recordings sometimes aren't enough. You kind of have to use your voice so much that your brain understands that this is the new normal, right? And I'm pretty sure here in the public, people will be like, yeah, that's a masculine voice, right? I don't think anyone would like dare to call swagger souls the epitome of you're not swagger souls, you're not swagger souls. The epitome of like
PSA,
a feminine
not
voice,
swagger
right?
souls.
PSA, not swagger souls. Okay, and yeah, I guess you can still try to even further masculinize your voice if you feel like that's causing you an issue. I guess we can still work on getting your pitch even lower, getting your voice even like more thick, perhaps, or getting your resonance lower. But eventually, you'll have like a voice like yours right now, which you will like have to get used to and just move on from there. Like your brain just accepts that like you have been using your femme voice for how many like years of your life? 10, 15, 20 perhaps?
20.
20 years of your life being like, hi guys, and then 1 month of being like,
Hi, bro.
and so of course it's quite a dichotomy, and your brain is like, you're still putting this on, but you're not, right? Like voice is modular, and we do this to feel more comfortable, and voice is not set in stone. And that's also something that your brain understands, right? Voice is not set in stone, so you're just voice acting. You're not yourself, blah, 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 yada, yada. That's your brain telling you, please let me go back to like 20 years of voice knowledge. What are you doing? So you just like gotta retrain your brain to feel more comfortable and feel a lot better about it. Now, Is that the only thing that you felt was bothering you in regards to your voice, or?
There's actually one more thing. I've noticed instead
there's
of
more.
just my vocal range going lower, I've just lost a lot of it. Like I can't reach any of the heights I used to, and I can't go as low as what I want to either. So I'm struggling somewhere straight in the middle of
Okay.
just a couple of notes that I would like something I can practice to make it not do that. Because I
Okay,
feel like every day I'm losing something instead of gaining more.
Okay, so you're not really losing anything. I mean, some trans guys I know have been reporting like loss of high up ranges, but that's mostly because they don't use it. So you have to understand why this is happening, right? Like, testosterone affects us in three main ways. Okay, the first thing that happens is your resonance
Goes like that.
Well, it's not really chronological, right? But three things that happen.
Your resonance can go down, then your pitch can go down, and then your vocal folds become more thick, right?
And so the loss of high pitches can come from perhaps your vocal folds haven't become thicker, right? So like perhaps your vocals are so thick that it's like hard to achieve higher pitches. I mean, like if I go for a high pitch like this, and if I try to make that sound thick, not nice to my ears, to your ears, or to your voice. Not so gentle, right? We always prefer to have softer voices when it comes to higher pitches. Unless it comes to like screaming or yelling or singing, right? But when it comes to talking, we try to avoid that. And so, right, that's something that maybe you struggle with. Maybe because mass has come in before, but give time to testosterone and you might see your range go down with pitch as well as your vocal folds elongate and allow for lower pitches. But you do need to keep trying, going lower and lower in pitch, seeing how that goes. And if you want to like keep going for high pitches, don't forbid yourself just because
I have to go for a masculine voice, so I'm not allowed to high pitches, like...
that's probably not what you want to do. Or I don't know, I'm not in your head, I'm not in your life. So of course you're, that's totally up to you. But feel like this is not like a loss that is permanent anyways. I have been exposed to testosterone, and for years I felt like I had lost all of this range, but I recovered it anyways. So you will be able to, if you want to, look like at singing or anything really voice acting. Perhaps in a few 20-something years, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, guys, and you know, like, I'm actually trans, and like, I used to have like a femme voice.
hi, and then bros freak out. They're like, whoa. So you don't know, but so yeah,
It's a great skill, that.
it's a great skill to have. I can vouch for that. It's pretty fun, but yeah, let's test it out. I want to see if you haven't made any progress with your voice. Have you been monitoring
Alright.
your pitch range? You said yourself that it got narrower, but
Yes,
you know
so-
how it got.
I've been doing a lot of like karaoke in my off time because I'm like, you gotta at least do something with what's currently happening before you forget how voices work.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also using the apps you recommended, and it's going lower. I can tell that it's slowly going lower. So that's
Do you know like
nice.
how low it goes? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, do that again.
That one is difficult. That's about.
Yeah.
I can't go lower than that. That's
I honestly think okay, that's really cool. So I only think that like I can hear that the mass I can hear that the vocal fold mass has gotten a lot greater. Like it's not like the that you showed me before. It's more like a it's already more full, right? So that means you have a much easier time with that. So if you try to go any lower, like try it out. Ooh, okay.
Yo, it's lower than I've ever
That's a
gotten.
new low, yeah.
Oh,
That's a B2. Welcome to the second octave. Woo!
Let's go! All I've
Let's
ever
see, can we
cared
go-
about.
oh, so like this means that in theory you can sound like this, basically, like a robot, that is, but like that's like the lowest you can now reach. Can we go any lower though? Oh.
Give to try?
Oh, oh god. Oh. There we go, breathy again.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We're back.
It's breathy, but
Hollowness. Hi.
Oh,
but it's a breathy A2 though, so that's even lower.
oh, and then we can try
No.
to try to like thicken it up, just like we did with like other pitches we worked on.
Try it out.
Oh. I'm going up again.
Okay, that's fine, it's fine. But honestly, new low.
Related to practice.
I mean, here in voice masculinization, new low means new high. You know what I mean. You get it, me. All right. Well, good job, Scarrick. I'm glad to hear you improve your voice, and thank you for coming up stage.
You've helped so much. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Bye. Applause for Scarrick. Okay, now we'll have one last person up on stage who wants to work on feminizing their voice. Okay, Luciana, come up stage. Come up. Applause for Luciana. I promise there is no bias for wolves on stage. I just happened to see you first. All right, hello, Luciana. Welcome. Oh, your mic might be muted.
I was muted. I'm sorry.
It's more than okay. All right, so what are you coming here for? What do you want to do?
Well, I've been trying to feminize my voice since some months ago, but I
Okay.
actually started attending to classes for 3 weeks now.
Okay,
So
very recent.
I don't know. I went. It's the same. Sometimes I feel like I do have a feminine tone, but as a streamer, I see my VODs, and yeah, my voice doesn't
Okay.
sound to me.
Okay. Well, to me it sounds pretty feminine. Like, I would be hard pressed to say that there's no voice work. That's not really what I'm hearing. Okay, cool. So, let's see what areas you feel like you struggle with. Hey, we haven't been doing any reading today. Let's give that a try. Okay. I want you to like look at the board. Has it loaded for you up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you try and read that first sentence for me in your current voice?
Okay. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Not quite like me, but hello. Good morning. Closer. How are you? Okay. Cool. Very good. How about the next one? Can you read that one for me?
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Okay. I'll have a cup of coffee, please. Okay. So I'm hearing a femme voice. Maybe on the lower end of like the pitch range, I'll have a cup of coffee, please. But nothing that's like out of the ordinary. Like you don't have a dark resonance. Like I'll have a cup of coffee, please. So that's not what's happening. So yeah, I think that you already got a pretty solid femme voice. Really, you still feel like it feels masculine. I don't know. How about you read that next one?
I forgot to take my hormones, which I actually did.
Oh no, take the hormones quick.
Oh no.
I forgot to take my hormones. Okay, so again, going for like that lower pitch. That's all right. I forgot to take my hormones. Okay, it's like kind of like down there. Okay, so
Okay.
I don't know what makes you feel dysphoric about your voice. There is so many reasons for why you might feel like your voice sounds masculine or feminine, right? Either the sound is too dark or too bright. Either the pitch is too low or too high. Either your voice might sound too thick or too thin, perhaps. And I feel like if there's anything that could be improved on, at least to help you hear with your own ears, like what it would be like a more feminine sound, I think we can like work on some pitch behavior. So something I want you to try here is first, I want you to try and go from like your lowest pitch up to your highest pitch. Try and mimic me here. Oh.
Oh.
Very good. Okay, so that goes up to Oh, a C4. Great, awesome. Can we go any higher than that? I want to try. Starting on that high pitch. Oh, give it a try.
Okay. Oh. I'm
Okay,
sorry, my
so
voice.
we're here. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just testing your range, seeing what you're comfortable with. Oh, so we're at a G sharp 4. Pretty solid, right? Oh, very good. So you already got like what? Like an octave and a half almost, right? Of pitch to work around with. That's a lot, right? That means that if you can go all the way up here, oh, you can technically read and say, hello, good morning, how are you? Right? But that's not exactly what a feminine voice sounds like. Or I guess it can be, but it'd be like a fembot. Beep boop, feminine robot, right? So not quite what do I want to go for. So you already have quite a good range, so I think we can work with that. All right, try and match my pitch here. We're going to try and first do some monotonous reading, just like the fembot I was talking about, okay? So let's try this.
Okay.
Oh, hello, good morning. How are you? Give it a try.
Oh, hello, good morning, how are you?
Very good. Let's try to get a little bit higher. Oh, hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh, hello, good morning, how are you?
Very good. Oh, hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh, hello, good morning, how are you?
Very good. Can we go even higher? Oh, hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh, hello, good morning, how are you?
All right, we're starting to like reach a certain gap, right? Or certain like break point. This is generally kind of like the limit between your M1 range and your M2 range. More classical singing might call it chest voice and head voice, or perhaps modal voice or falsetto voice. You know, falsetto is like this, this kind of like cartoonish voice that we might have heard in some show that I'm not legally allowed to talk about. There is no such thing, don't worry. But so like at some point, you know, you might feel something like a voice crack, right? Like if you keep going up, oh, right? You know that sound, right? That voice crack sound we all had as teenagers. Maybe not all of us, but oh, like, hey, Dad, can you like bring me back home in your car? You know, that's like the kind of like voice breakage that can happen. So when we work with fem voice, since we are going to such high pitches for intonation, you know, instead of just staying down there and be like, hello, good morning, how are you? We might want to like inflect a bit more, be a bit more melodic with our voice, and maybe try something like, hello, good morning, how are you? You know, like going like all the way up in your higher pitches, right? And being able to like transition between that M1 range and that M2 range, right? Across the crack, if you will. We actually call this the passaggio, if you will. Voice crack is fine, honestly. If you don't like Italian, you can call it a voice crack. I like passaggio too, so I'll say passaggio. But so we might want to go above that. By the way, you seemed to be able to keep an M1 voice with like a full sound, right? All the way up to like, oh, like up to D4. So that was really solid, right? So already compared to the voice you're currently using, you know, like, can you just quickly say that sentence again in your current voice?
I'm sorry again?
Can you just quickly say that sentence again with your current voice?
Okay. Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you? Da, 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 da. It's like you kind of evolve between like a G3, a little bit up to C4, but mostly like between G3 and F3, right? Hello, good morning, how are you? Like it's like down there, like kind of like where I talk at. So perhaps something that feels more comfortable for you is to try breaking that limit and going for something higher. Let's try to do some intonation here that might be different. Okay, let's read it again here, mimicking after me. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Very good. Now let's try to go up during the sentence. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Right, very hard. It's not a normal behavior to do. You did great. Let's do the opposite way around. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Very good. Okay, now let's try to go low, high, low. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Very good. Okay. Now, let's intonate this sentence correctly. How would someone normally say it? I'll have a cup of coffee, please, if you're really bored. Or perhaps something like, I'll have a cup of coffee, please. So the intonation is done on cup of coffee. You're conveying that you want a cup of coffee. So I'll have a cup of coffee, please. So you can try to like go up and down on cup of coffee. A cup of coffee. So cup of coffee. Try it out.
Okay. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Okay, I'll have a cup of coffee, please. What's the pitch here? So it's like a D3. So while that motion was really good, I felt like you went a bit too low in pitch. So I'll have a cup of coffee, please. That's kind of like too low for the voice that you were going for here, which was like at a higher pitch range. So instead of saying, I'll have a cup of coffee, please, let's try instead to have, I'll have a cup of coffee, please. Give it a try.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Very good. All right, awesome. So what you did there, please, is what we call here uptalk, right? It's something that is done by some feminine voices to convey more femininity in the voice. It's kind of like asking a question, but not really, you know. I'll have a cup of coffee, please, you know. That's a way that you can use to talk if you want to, and it's a really quick hack to avoid going lower and lower in pitch. As you did before, I'll have a cup of coffee, please, right? So to avoid that, make sure that you don't go as low. You can use uptalk at the end, but maybe be careful not to rely too much on using uptalk, you know, like asking a question at the end of every sentence. That's something that might make you sound unsure about things, you know, over time. But it's a quick hack that you can use if you feel like, I'll have a cup of coffee. Oh no, I'm going to end up really low. Please, you know, kind of like that. So you can make use of this, and I hope that this has given you an insight on how big and wide your range is and how much high pitches you have available. I'm sorry we didn't have as much time as we could have here, but we did need to talk about these some explanations here. So yeah, keep trying it. Try to like do more of like this like motion. I can recommend you to start doing this exercise, which is like you slide up and down on a word, and you try to do that on every single word in a sentence. I forgot to take my hormones. 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 None of this sounds natural, but it's great practice for you to kind of like go up and down in your pitch range and become more comfortable going up, not feeling like, oh God, I'm going to fail if I go too high. Okay? So take it bit by bit, record yourself, listen back to yourself, and you'll be, I hope, more comfortable with your voice and feeling like it belongs to you, that it's femme and that it's just you, right? So, yeah. Hope that has been helpful for you, Luciana.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming off stage. Applause for Luciana.
Well done.
All right. Perfect. We're just on time. Is Alistair still here? Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to cut it here for the Twitch stream, or do we have a question?
We have one singular online question.
Okay, one single online question. All right. So if
So
you need to
we
go,
have-
Lester, it's yeah.
I think I'll just go for about 10 minutes, roughly.
Okay, yeah. So let's just do that one online question. Then you can cut stream, and I'll answer some questions outside of stream if you want on here. Okay.
Perfect.
So
That
Shay,
sounds
what's
good.
the question about?
So, we have a question in Discord asking, I have a naturally deep bass voice. I've been practicing the new advice from last lesson. Last lesson I asked how I can't help but go into flagellate when trying to speak non-binary or femme. But when I try to
Interesting.
speak
Yes.
non-mask, I either sound like a masked cartoon character or really nasally. I sing and act, but for the life of me, I can't seem to break out of my masculine voice. Is there any more tips for improving? For best explanation, I sound more like SpongeBob and less towards Sandy.
I see.
So like kind of like this kind of like voice, like the kind of like that sound.
Okay, so if you feel like you sound too much like SpongeBob, then you might be dealing with too much vocal fold mass. Let me get a nice light for this. Hey, wait. Just you wait. Okay, cool. So as you can see here on the board, when we use our vocal folds, they vibrate, right? Like this. But like mostly towards the exit because we push air from our lungs, right? And here what's interesting to note is that when you have really thin vocal folds, like you push very little amounts of air, right? So like that's how you get that sound. Very light sound, right? Whereas with a heavier sound,
You're using like a lot more vocal fold mass.
and as you can see here, the muscles here involved are a little bit thicker. They're like more active, you know, kind of like how you flex a muscle, you know? It's kind of like the similar thing that's happening here. And so what's happening with the SpongeBob voice,
Like basically, I haven't watched SpongeBob, so sorry, but it's
this is my closest reference to it.
like the SpongeBob voice is probably dealing like too much of that vocal fold mass, and so reducing that vocal fold mass
To something more like this can help a lot with feminizing it. So as you can see, you need a lot more air to push heavier things, right? Just like you need to force more to push something, right? And so to achieve a more femme sound, not really a more femme sound, but a more soft sound, you can try onsetting your voice with less air instead of onsetting your voice with a lot of air. Try to onset your voice with the little amount of air, right? And onsetting your voice with low airflow can encourage a lot more soft sounds. Whereas
more airflow can encourage heavier sounds to happen.
So that's a quick hack for you to learn how to get a softer tone. If that's not helping here, then you might want to like try different exercises to explore thinness in your voice. So some sounds that use thinner vocal folds are, for example, a sigh, like a sigh of relief, like whilst it is a breathy sound. If you make that non-breathy, then you just get like a really soft, light sound, okay? So try to reduce the airflow or try to do a sigh and then make the breathiness out of the sigh go away. And these are two methods that you can use to get your voice outside of SpongeBob territory. All right. I hope that's been helpful for you. All right, so no more questions from Discord chat or from Twitch chat?
Nope, that's it.
All right, thank you then. All right, so I'll be asking some questions now. I'm trying to see if the person who crashed is back, but I don't think I see them. Okay, no. Okay, right. So